Ever find yourself at a crossroads, overwhelmed by choices, only to hear a voice in your head whispering 100 reasons why you can't? That voice, filled with doubt and hesitation, often feels insurmountable, like an invisible barrier blocking your path to fulfillment. What if I told you that voice is the only thing standing between you and your best life? This inner dialogue, a mixture of fear and self-doubt, is the origin of most of our excuses. It's not the external circumstances, but this internal chatter that convinces us we're not ready, capable, or deserving. These excuses, those sneaky little thoughts that hold us back, are often born from a place of insecurity and fear, shielding us from the discomfort of growth and change. They are the invisible chains that keep us bound to a life of mediocrity, preventing us from reaching our true potential. Today, we're diving into the Stoic philosophy to help you stop making 7 common excuses and start living with purpose and clarity. Stoicism, an ancient philosophy founded in Athens, teaches us to focus on what we can control and accept what we cannot. It emphasizes the development of self-control and fortitude as a means of overcoming destructive emotions. By embracing the core principles of Stoicism, we can confront these excuses head-on and transform our lives. Before starting the video, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell icon button for notifications about upcoming new videos. Okay, let's get started. Number 1. I don't have time. Time, the one resource we all wish we had more of. It's finite, relentless, and universally distributed. No one can buy more of it or reclaim it once it's passed. In today's fast-paced world, it's common to hear people lament, "I don't have time." This phrase has become a ubiquitous excuse for avoiding commitments, postponing dreams, and neglecting personal growth. However, the Stoics offer a different perspective on this issue. They remind us that it's not about having time. It's about making time for what matters. The Stoic philosophers, including Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, emphasize that time is the most precious resource we possess. They argued that the quality of our lives depends on how we choose to use this limited resource. The Stoic view on time challenges us to reflect on our priorities. The next time you catch yourself saying, "I don't have time," ask yourself, is it truly a lack of time or a lack of priority? Often, this excuse masks a deeper truth, that we haven't prioritized our tasks or aligned them with our core values. We all have the same 24 hours in a day, but how we allocate those hours reveals what we truly value. The Stoics believed in the importance of living a life guided by reason and virtue. They taught that we should focus on what is within our control and let go of what is not. Time management, therefore, becomes an exercise in self-discipline and intentionality, ensuring that we invest our time in activities that align with our values and contribute to our well-being. One of the key Stoic practices related to time management is the daily reflection, often referred to as evening meditation. At the end of each day, Stoics would review their actions, thoughts, and feelings, assessing whether they lived according to their values and used their time wisely. This practice serves as a powerful tool for self-awareness and growth, helping individuals identify areas where they may be wasting time or neglecting important aspects of life. By regularly examining how we spend our time, we can make conscious decisions to prioritize meaningful activities over trivial distractions. Another important aspect of Stoic philosophy is the concept of memento mori, which translates to "remember you must die." This contemplation of mortality serves as a reminder that our time is limited and that we should not squander it on unimportant or frivolous pursuits. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, frequently reminded himself of the transient nature of life and the importance of using time wisely. He wrote, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." This powerful reflection encourages us to focus on what truly matters, avoiding procrastination and excuses. In modern times, the excuse of "I don't have time" is often linked to our digital distractions. The constant notifications, social media, and entertainment options available at our fingertips can easily consume hours of our day, often without us even realizing it. The Stoics, if they were alive today, would likely caution us against these distractions, urging us to reclaim our time for more meaningful activities. They would encourage us to be mindful of how we spend our time and to be deliberate in our choices. This mindfulness involves setting clear boundaries and being disciplined in managing our attention, so we don't fall into the trap of endless scrolling or mindless consumption. Moreover, the Stoics would advise us to be wary of the societal pressures and expectations that dictate how we should spend our time. The modern world often equates busyness with success, leading many to fill their schedules with tasks and commitments that may not align with their true priorities. The Stoic emphasis on living according to nature and reason suggests that we should resist these external pressures and instead focus on what genuinely brings us fulfillment and aligns with our virtues. This might mean saying no to certain obligations, delegating tasks, or simply carving out time for quiet reflection and self-care. It's also worth noting that the Stoic perspective on time challenges us to reconsider the value of our activities. Not all time-consuming tasks are inherently valuable. For example, spending long hours at work might seem productive, but if it's at the expense of personal relationships, health, or inner peace, it might not be the best use of time. The Stoics would encourage us to seek a balanced life, where we allocate time to cultivate our minds, bodies, and spirits. This holistic approach ensures that we do not neglect any aspect of our well-being in pursuit of external success. In addition to personal reflection, the Stoics also placed great emphasis on serving others and contributing to the greater good. They believe that living virtuously involved not only caring for oneself, but also for others. This means that making time for activities that benefit others, whether it's helping a friend, volunteering, or simply being present for loved ones, is an essential aspect of living a good life. The excuse of "I don't have time" often reflects a self-centered perspective where we prioritize our own immediate comfort or convenience over meaningful interactions and contributions. The Stoics remind us that by making time for others, we enrich our own lives and build a stronger, more connected community. Number 2, it's too hard. Challenges are inevitable, but they are also the forge where we shape our character. When faced with something that feels too hard, it's tempting to give in to the urge to retreat, avoid, or postpone the task. This instinct is natural. It's a form of self-preservation, a way to shield ourselves from discomfort and potential failure. However, the Stoic principle that the obstacle is the way offers a transformative perspective on challenges. This idea, popularized in modern times by author Ryan Holiday, is rooted deeply in the teachings of Stoic philosophers like Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus. It suggests that the very difficulties we encounter are not just obstacles to be avoided, but essential components of our journey toward personal growth and fulfillment. When we encounter a challenge, it often triggers a cascade of negative emotions: fear, doubt, frustration. These emotions can cloud our judgment and make the task seem insurmountable. But the Stoics teach us that these moments of discomfort are crucial. They provide a mirror reflecting our weaknesses, insecurities, and areas that require growth. By confronting and embracing these challenges, we not only overcome the immediate difficulty, but also strengthen our character and resilience. It's through the process of facing what's hard that we cultivate virtues like courage, patience, and perseverance. Consider the analogy of a blacksmith's forge. Just as raw metal must be heated and hammered to become strong and resilient, so too must we endure and work through our challenges to develop our inner strength. The Stoic approach encourages us to view difficulties not as threats but as opportunities to practice and hone these virtues. This shift in perspective is powerful. It transforms our relationship with adversity. Rather than dreading challenges, we learn to welcome them as essential steps on our path to becoming better versions of ourselves. The Stoics believe that the universe is rational and that everything happens for a reason, even if we cannot immediately understand it. This belief extends to the challenges we face. When something seems too hard, it may be the universe's way of presenting us with a necessary lesson or test. By accepting this, we can approach challenges with a sense of curiosity and openness, rather than fear and resistance. This mindset allows us to explore new strategies, learn from our mistakes, and ultimately grow wiser and more capable. A practical application of this Stoic principle is found in the exercise known as voluntary discomfort. This involves intentionally putting ourselves in uncomfortable situations to build resilience and fortitude. For example, fasting, taking cold showers, or practicing silence are ways to experience discomfort in controlled, manageable ways. By doing so, we train ourselves to handle more significant challenges with grace and composure. The practice of voluntary discomfort teaches us that we can endure much more than we initially believe, and that discomfort, while unpleasant, is not inherently harmful. It's a tool for growth. Moreover, the Stoic view of challenges as opportunities aligns with modern psychological insights into the concept of the growth mindset, popularized by psychologist Carol Dweck. A growth mindset involves seeing challenges as opportunities to learn and grow, rather than as threats to one's self-esteem or intelligence. This mindset encourages effort, persistence, and resilience. When we adopt a growth mindset, we are more likely to embrace challenges, persist in the face of setbacks, and see effort as a path to mastery. The Stoic emphasis on viewing obstacles as opportunities for growth dovetails beautifully with this modern psychological perspective, offering a time-tested framework for developing a resilient and adaptive approach to life's difficulties. It's also important to acknowledge that the Stoic approach to challenges does not mean ignoring or suppressing negative emotions. The Stoics were not advocating for an emotionless existence, but rather for a disciplined and rational response to emotions. When faced with a daunting challenge, it's natural to feel fear, anxiety, or frustration. The key is to recognize these emotions without letting them dictate our actions. By practicing mindfulness and self-awareness, we can observe our emotional responses, understand their origins, and choose our actions based on reason and virtue rather than impulse. In the face of something too hard, the Stoic response involves several key steps. First, accept the reality of the situation without denial or avoidance. This acceptance is crucial because it grounds us in the present moment and allows us to assess the challenge clearly. Second, evaluate the challenge with a rational mindset, breaking it down into manageable parts if necessary. This step involves planning and strategizing, using reason to find the best course of action. Third, take action with courage and determination, focusing on what we can control and letting go of what we cannot. This action-oriented approach is central to Stoicism. It emphasizes that while we cannot control external events, we can control our responses to them. The Stoic principle that the obstacle is the way can be applied in various aspects of life, from personal challenges like overcoming procrastination or building healthier habits to professional obstacles like navigating career setbacks or managing difficult relationships. In each case, the perceived difficulty is an opportunity to practice Stoic virtues and develop greater resilience. By consistently applying this principle, we can transform our relationship with challenges, viewing them not as roadblocks, but as essential elements of a meaningful and purposeful life. Number 3, I'm not ready. The excuse, I'm not ready, is a common refrain that many of us use to delay pursuing our goals, dreams, and responsibilities. This mindset often stems from a desire for perfection or a fear of failure, leading us to believe that we must wait for the perfect moment or until we feel fully prepared. However, this belief is a mirage, an illusion that keeps us stagnant and prevents us from making meaningful progress. The Stoics, ancient philosophers who emphasized rationality and virtue, believed strongly in the importance of taking action, even in the face of uncertainty. They taught that waiting for ideal conditions is a fruitless endeavor because life is inherently unpredictable. By embracing the Stoic perspective, we can overcome the paralyzing excuse of, I'm not ready, and begin to live a more proactive and fulfilling life. The idea of waiting for the perfect moment is deeply flawed because it assumes that there will be a time when all conditions align perfectly for us to act. However, life is a dynamic and ever-changing landscape where new challenges and opportunities arise constantly. The Stoics understood that we have limited control over external events. Instead, they advocated focusing on what we can control, our thoughts, actions, and attitudes. This means that waiting for external circumstances to be just right is not only impractical but also a waste of precious time. The perfect moment, in reality, rarely, if ever, arrives. By postponing action, we risk missing out on opportunities that may never present themselves again. One of the key teachings of Stoicism is the concept of amor fati, which means love of fate. This principle encourages us to embrace whatever happens and see it as a part of our journey. Rather than lamenting the imperfections of the present moment, we should accept them and move forward with what we have. This doesn't mean resigning ourselves to a passive existence. Rather, It involves actively engaging with life's challenges and using them as opportunities for growth. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus famously said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." By focusing on our reactions and choices, we can turn any situation into a stepping stone toward our goals, regardless of how ready we feel. The fear of not being ready often comes from a lack of confidence in our abilities. We may believe that we need more experience, more knowledge, or more resources before we can begin. However, this mindset overlooks a crucial aspect of growth. We become ready by doing. The process of taking action, making mistakes, and learning from them is what prepares us for greater challenges. The Stoics taught the importance of premeditatio malorum, or the premeditation of evils, which involves mentally preparing for potential obstacles and difficulties. This practice helps us build resilience and anticipate challenges, making us more equipped to handle them when they arise. By starting with what we have and gradually expanding our skills and knowledge, we develop the readiness we once thought we lacked. Another important Stoic concept is the idea of focusing on the present moment. The Stoics believe that the present is the only time we truly possess and that we should make the most of it. This means taking action now, rather than waiting for some future point when we think we will be more prepared. The Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This powerful insight reminds us that the obstacles we face are not reasons to delay, but are integral parts of our journey. By confronting these challenges head-on, we grow stronger and more capable. Moreover, the pursuit of readiness can sometimes mask a deeper fear of failure. We might convince ourselves that we're not ready because we're afraid of making mistakes or being judged by others. The Stoics encourage us to reframe our perspective on failure. Instead of seeing it as a negative outcome, we should view it as a valuable learning experience. Seneca, another prominent Stoic philosopher, argued that failure is an essential part of the human experience and that it provides us with the opportunity to improve. He stated, "A gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials." By embracing failure as a natural and necessary part of growth, we can move forward without the crippling fear of making mistakes. Taking action despite not feeling ready also aligns with the Stoic virtue of courage. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the willingness to act in spite of it. The Stoics believe that true courage involves facing our fears and uncertainties with a calm and rational mind. By stepping out of our comfort zone and taking action, we demonstrate the courage to pursue our values and goals. This courageous attitude is essential for personal growth and the achievement of meaningful objectives. It allows us to push through self-imposed limitations and discover our true potential. Number 4, "I don't have the skills," is a common excuse that often stems from a fear of inadequacy or a belief that expertise is an innate quality rather than a developed one. However, this perspective overlooks a crucial truth. Skills are not born, they are cultivated. The Stoic philosophy, with its emphasis on continuous improvement and self-discipline, encourages us to embrace the beginner's mindset, a humble recognition that mastery is a journey, not a destination. When we encounter a new challenge or goal, instead of resigning ourselves to the belief that we lack the necessary skills, we should adopt an attitude of willingness and curiosity. By approaching each task with the mindset of a learner, we open ourselves to growth and development. The Stoics, particularly figures like Epictetus and Seneca, championed the idea that personal development is an ongoing process. They understood that every skill, no matter how complex, begins with small, incremental steps. This means that initial inadequacy is not a barrier but a starting point. Every expert was once a novice, and every skill was once unfamiliar. By committing to the process of continuous learning, practicing regularly, seeking feedback, and remaining persistent, we gradually build our capabilities. This mindset shift from, "I don't have the skills," to, "I'm willing to learn," transforms obstacles into opportunities. It empowers us to tackle new challenges with resilience and optimism, knowing that growth comes through effort and persistence. The Stoic approach teaches us that the journey of learning is just as valuable as the destination, and through this journey, we cultivate the skills and wisdom that shape our success. Number 5, "It's not the right time." The notion of the right time is a deceptive illusion that frequently stalls our progress and prevents us from seizing opportunities. We often wait for an ideal set of conditions, perfect timing, favorable circumstances, or external validation before taking action. However, the Stoics teach us that the present moment is the only time we truly possess, and that waiting for external factors to align perfectly is a recipe for inaction. According to Stoic philosophy, the present moment is where our power lies. It is the only time we can influence through our choices and actions. Waiting for a right time that may never come only delays our growth and perpetuates a cycle of procrastination. By focusing on the present and taking proactive steps, regardless of the circumstances, we can create our own opportunities and shape our destiny. This approach aligns with the Stoic principle of amor fati, loving one's fate, where we embrace the current situation and make the best of it. By acting now, we not only move closer to our goals but also cultivate resilience and adaptability, qualities that are crucial for navigating an unpredictable world. Embracing the present moment empowers us to transform our intentions into actions, thus breaking free from the constraints of waiting for a mythical right time and taking ownership of our path. Number 6, I'm afraid of failing. Fear of failure is a common excuse that holds many people back from pursuing their goals and dreams. This fear often manifests as a paralyzing force, making us hesitant to take risks or step outside our comfort zones. However, Stoic philosophy provides a refreshing perspective on failure. The Stoics remind us that failure is not the end but a vital component of the journey toward mastery and personal growth. Rather than viewing failure as a setback, we should embrace it as a valuable teacher. Each failure offers critical lessons that can refine our skills, strengthen our character, and provide insights that guide us toward eventual success. Marcus Aurelius, a prominent Stoic philosopher, emphasized the importance of learning from our mistakes, suggesting that setbacks are opportunities to cultivate resilience and wisdom. By reframing failure in this way, we can approach challenges with a mindset of curiosity and perseverance. The only true failure, according to Stoic principles, is not trying at all. When we allow the fear of failure to deter us from taking action, we forfeit our chance to grow and achieve our potential. Therefore, embracing failure as a necessary step in the learning process empowers us to overcome our fears and move forward with confidence. Number 7, what will others think? Concerned about others' opinions? This fear of judgment can be paralyzing, often leading us to second-guess our choices and compromise our true selves. The Stoics, however, offer a liberating perspective on this issue. They emphasized focusing on what we can control, our own actions and reactions, rather than the uncontrollable opinions of others. According to Stoic philosophy, external validation is beyond our control, and allowing it to dictate our actions only leads to a life dictated by others' expectations rather than our own values. Epictetus, one of the most influential Stoic philosophers, taught that we should concern ourselves only with our own virtues and moral choices, not with how others perceive us. By living authentically and in alignment with our own principles, we build inner strength and self-respect. This Stoic approach encourages us to evaluate our actions based on our values and integrity rather than the fleeting approval of others. In doing so, we reclaim our autonomy and pave the way for a more fulfilling and genuine existence, free from the constraints of societal pressures and superficial judgments. Conclusion: excuses are like chains, holding us back from our true potential. But with the wisdom of Stoicism, we can break free and live a life of purpose, courage, and authenticity. So, what's your excuse? And more importantly, how will you overcome it? If this video resonated with you, don't forget to hit that like button, share it with someone who needs to hear this, and subscribe for more content on living a meaningful life. Remember, the best time to start is now. Be stoic and stop making excuses. Until next time, stay true to yourself and embrace the journey.